Hi, this is Mrs. Robertson, and today we're going to go over the answers to our study guide number 2 for the inequality test. The test is tomorrow, so watch this video tonight to make sure you know exactly what to do if you are studying and you're not very sure. You should be able to get an A or a B on this test. It's not a hard test. Number 1, which of the following is a solution, which means an answer, of the inequality? This is the inequality. H minus 3 is less than or equal to 10. Now, if H is a 13, 13 minus 3 is 10. Is 10 less than or equal to 10? Yes. 12 minus 3 is 9. Is 9 less than or equal to 10? Yes. 11 minus 3 is 8. Is 8 less than or equal to 10? Yes. 10 minus 3 is 7. Is 7 less than or equal to 10? Yes. Now, all of them are true on this one. On the test, I don't think they're all true, okay? But you need to check every answer to see if it's true or not. Number 2, describe the solution in words and then graph it. This says A is greater than 2. You could use the word more than. I would count that right also. A is greater than 2. Now, there's no bar, so it's going to be an open circle. It's a positive 2. Positive 2 is right there. Put an open circle. Greater than are bigger numbers, and bigger numbers live to the right. Any questions? All right, let's do the next one. B is less than or equal to -5. This one has a few extra words. B is less than or equal to, and it's a -5, so you have to have that negative sign. It always hurts me whenever someone puts a 5 instead of a -5, I have to count it wrong. All because of that one little thing, because there's a big difference between a -5 and a 5, right? So make sure you communicate it correctly. Now, since it has the bar, will we use an open circle or a closed circle? Yes. Closed circle. So put it on the -5. Closed circle, less than, little numbers live left. Any questions? Great. Let's go on to the next one. C is greater than, because it has the big end, and it has a bar, so it's greater than or equal, you have to add these words to it, 2.5. Now, 2.5 is the same as 2.5. If you wrote 2.5 there, I'd count it right. So I'm going to use a closed circle on 2.5. Now, 2.5 is in between 2 and 3. So put a closed circle in the middle between 2 and 3. Greater than, the bigger or greater numbers live to the right. Any questions? Nice job. The next one, D is less than, it doesn't have a bar, so all it is less than -3. What kind of a circle am I going to put on the -3? Open or closed? Yes, open. So -1, -2, -3, open circle, less than. Little numbers live left. Any questions? Does everyone have that? Fabulous. Let's go on. Number 3, which inequality is graphed below? It's an open circle, so it's going to be either H or I. 2 is, or T is greater than 2. It's going to be this, not that one. It's going to be H. T is greater than 2. Any questions on that?
How is T greater?
It's shaded to the right where the big numbers are the greater numbers. Okay? So T is greater than 2. It's shading all the numbers larger than 2.
Okay.
Number 4. Kim has at least $450 in his savings account. Which inequality represents this situation? Does Kim have $450? Yes. So it's going to be one of the ones with the bar. It's either going to be C or D. Kim has at least $450. Does that mean he has more or less? Can he have more than $450 or less?
Less.
No, this is the tricky word. The least amount he can have is $450. So he could have $450 or more. It's actually going to be D. M is greater than or equal to 450. Put a box around at least. At least is tricky, and just sort of draw that so you know, hey, it's greater than and equal to. That is a tricky one. And that will be on your test. I think the words at least are on your test at least once. So that means it's one time or more. Okay, let's go. Number 5. Which of the following inequalities has the solution shown below? It's an open circle, so it won't have a bar. It's either going to be H or I. Wow. Well, we don't have n all by itself. 4n divided by 4 gives you n, and 20 divided by 4 is 5. So n is greater than 5, or it's going to be n is less than 5. Which one, what does that show? It's less than. Even if you didn't know how to solve that inequality, you know, oh, it's the less than, and I'm going to have to use the less than. It is I for that one. N is less than 5. Now, let's make sure we know how to do these. A number is less than 14. X is less than 14. A number is greater than 14. X is greater than 14. Here's that at least again. What do we say to put for at least? Oh, it's to look like this. So X is greater than or equal to 14 when it says at least. Can it be 14? Yeah. 14 is the smallest, so it can be any 14 or bigger. A number is no greater than 14. Can it be 14? That's the biggest it can be. So when it says no greater, it looks like this. Any questions? Doing a fabulous job. Let's go through these. 8 3/100, is that greater than 8 3/10? No, it's not. 8 3/100 and 8 3/10, you could tell 30 is bigger than an 03 because I had to put a 0 in the empty spot. Don't circle it. Does 1/2 equal 3/8? No, it equals 4/8. Don't circle it. Okay, we have to multiply 4/3 times 6. 4/3 times 6 over 1 is 24 over 3. What's 24 divided by 3? Yes. 8. Is 5 less than 8? Yes. Circle it. It is a true statement. Is negative 20 greater than 22? No. Oh, wait. Now, even if I said 14 minus 20 is negative 6, negative 6 is not greater than 22 either. I think that number 14 sort of got stuck in there in a weird way. I don't know how that happened, but now, is 1/2 greater than 3/8? It is. How do you know? Well, 1/2 equals how many eighths? 4/8, right? So is 3/8 smaller than 4/8? Yeah. So therefore, 1/2 is greater than 3/8. Any questions? Okay, let's go to the last row here on the first page. 43 plus 12 is 55. 64 minus 11 is 53. Is 55 less than 53? No, don't circle it. Is 2.9 greater than 20? No, that's a 2. Is 2.9. If I put a decimal point 20, 20 is much bigger than a 2. This one is 3/10. Is 3/10 less than 9/10? Well, you draw a picture, and you know that it is. That is a true one. Here I have 2 candy bars. They're the same size. This one I'm going to cut up into 10 pieces. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, I got to fit another one in there. Now, there. Now, ninths. Ninths are bigger than the tenths. Okay? If I shade 3 of these, and I shade 3 of these, you can tell 3 tenths is smaller than 3 ninths, right? Yeah. So that is true. Is -7 greater than a -1? No, it's worse to owe $7 than $1. And does 1/4 not equal 3/12? No, it equals, because 3/12 will simplify to 1/4. It does equal. So that one, since it's got the not equal sign. Okay, now we're going to go over how to do the problems on the back side. Are there any questions? In the back, are there any questions? Okay, now let's do this. The temperature for the beach restaurant to be open are a maximum of 115 degrees and a minimum of 45 degrees. Define a variable. X equals temperature. You have to tell me what your variable represents. Okay. X can be less than or equal to 115, and the minimum is 45. So it can equal 45 or be warmer. So now we're going to graph what these two things say. You're going to put a closed circle on 115. That's located in between 110 and 120. You're going to put a closed circle on 45. That's located in between a 40 and a 50. And then you shade in all the numbers in between. Describe how your graph represents the situation. Well, the graph includes It includes 45 and 115 and all numbers in between. Now, maybe you want to write more, that's fine. Maybe you're confused and you don't know what to write. All you have to do is describe it. You could say I put a closed circle on 45, a closed circle on 115, and shaded everything in between. Though that would be fine too. That's just a few more words. I like to help you kids keep it down to as few words, but just tell me, what does it look like? Now, on your test, write down below it what the absolute value is, so that way you know if your answers are right. The absolute value of -32 is 32. Does 32 equal 32? True. The absolute value of -3 is 3. Is 3 greater than a -2? True. The absolute value of -6 is 6, and the absolute value of -4 is 4. Is 6 less than 4? False. All you have to do is do that and talk to yourself as you're doing these. The absolute value of -12 is 12. Is 12 less than 33? True. 15. Is 15 greater than the absolute value of -32 is +32? That is false. The absolute value of -8 is 8. Is 8 greater than -1? True. The absolute value of -3 is 3. The absolute value of -9 is 9. Is 3 less than 9? True. that's 14 minus 6 is 8. Does 8 not equal 12? That's true. 8 does not equal a 12. That is true. Okay. Now, let's go to number 13. A diver dove 20 feet below sea level. Write an integer to represent a location. The location is -20. Now this one we want a distance. Write an integer to represent how far the diver is from the surface. He is 20 feet from the surface. A distance is always positive, and that's what you write on here. distance is always positive. Now, a location can be negative, but a distance is always positive. Location or a spot can be negative. Okay. Now let's go to number 14. A bird is on top of a tree which is on a cliff above the sea. That's a little rhyme. The bird is 50 feet above sea level. Write an integer to represent the bird's location. Oh, it's positive 50. It's above sea level. Now I'm going to draw a picture. Here is my cliff. Here is the water. Here is the tree. And here is my bird. There's the bird's beak. It looks like a duck. Okay, so there's my bird in the tree. The bird in the tree is 50 feet above the sea. So from here to here is 50 feet. Then I have my diver. My diver is 20 feet below the sea. 20 feet. What is the distance between the diver and the bird? Yes, it is 70 feet. 50 plus 20 is 70 feet. Number 15. The boat operates at a temperature when the temperatures are a minimum of 55 and a maximum of 105. X equals temperatures. Represent the statement with inequalities. Well, X can be 55 or warmer. If it's colder than 55, the boats don't go out. And X can be 105 or colder. If it's warmer than 105, the boats don't go out. Now we graph it. Am I going to be using open or closed circles? Closed. So find 55. It's in between 50 and 60. Close that circle up. Find 105. It's in between 100 and 110. Close it up and fill in everything in between. And that is what your test is going to look like. Make sure you listen to this video tonight. And if you have any questions, ask me quickly before I give you the test tomorrow. Have a good day.